is your host, Elizabeth Tripp. We are live here in Manhattan. It's Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I go live on YouTube. You can come and check me out by following the link bit.ly/Luminous Life Podcast. Or simply head over to YouTube and type in Nourish the Soul or Luminous Life, and you'll find tons of videos that I've posted up there from my previous shows and even content from my own practice where I bring you information, really wisdom from the universe, and I absolutely love doing it. And particularly with Luminous Life, it is this fantastic experience where I get to be able to really help you bridge the human journey with your soul self. Where you can take your life trepidations and start to explore really the deeper meaning to why we are going through the challenge or the experience that we are. And as we take a closer look at these challenges or trepidations and experiences, the show, Luminous Life, is really designed to shine a bright light on the deeper meaning of life as we go on journeys of self-exploration and discovery to see what the soul lessons lie or where they lie within the experiences that we're having. Isn't that fascinating to think that there is an opportunity for us to learn and grow through every experience we have in life? From the small things like misplacing something to the bigger things like having to find an apartment or buying a brand new car or even getting married or attending a funeral. Every opportunity that comes our way is an experience that we are being asked to move through. And through the moving of that experience or allowing ourselves to be in it, we can actually see what deeper things we can learn about ourselves as a result. So slowing down to what is at hand and what we are experiencing right now can often show us where we're at with ourselves and if we want to continue to be in that space, or if we can move into a space of expansion to break through limitations and see ourselves in a possibly a whole new way. That's a beautiful thing. That's Luminous Life. And so I've crafted a really beautiful show tonight. I'm so excited about it. Personally, when I craft shows, I look at aspects or areas of my life that I'm currently moving through or, have moved through quite recently. And so an aspect that I am working with on a spiritual level is this notion of letting go of control. And it's been such a funny experience, and I've actually been laughing at myself quite a bit in seeing how I used to feel this deep desire and need to control many aspects of my life. And it's shown up in so many different ways, and it used to be in food and my body, and then in relationships and, work, how to get things done, how I wanted people to do things. And it was always this interesting kind of pull or force that I put on myself, or pressure to really put energy and time into meeting an expectation that I set for myself, and to make sure that something happens a certain way so that I felt good, or that I felt accomplished, or could feel at ease. So as I was thinking about this, I thought, well, so many people out there are having conversations around control and are probably not even aware of it. And so tonight's show is about really exploring this concept of letting go of control so that you can let the universe in. And what that really means, there is a message of belief that's tied in there. There's an ability to release and to, relinquish. There is freedom and ease that lies in that space of exploring our relationship with the universe. But before we get there, we really want to look at, in our own self, our own reactions to life when it happens to us, and what we tend to do. What is our automatic reaction in a sense of how we manage our life experiences, and what we tend to try to control in order to help make it seem manageable or better or easier, and what that really does for the experience itself, and are we truly learning if we're in this mode, if we're in control mode or planning mode? Are we really getting something for ourselves, or are we repeating patterns of behavior that have served us for a period of time and not letting ourselves expand out of or really explore a new way of being with ourselves during life challenge or trepidation or experience, whether it be good or bad? Just thinking about that, just letting yourself explore and expand on that. Because as you do that, like always, I want to invite Spirit in, Creator, the universe, as a source of wisdom through this podcast, to be able to work itself through me as I serve as a channel for its words, for its knowledge, for the audience that's tuning in today. And so that those who have been guided to this show are actually receiving what they have been looking for, what their soul is in need of in this very moment. Because, like I say every time, there is no coincidence that you're here. You're here for a reason. Something has pulled you to my work, and it's much deeper than you realize. And it's a beautiful, sourceful energy. And so we're going to invite it into the show and let it be a part of the broadcast so that you can allow yourself to be in this receiving mode. So what does that require from you? Well, just a willingness, curiosity, and just an expansion within yourself, a desire to want to learn and grow here this evening. So that's all that I'm looking for. And I know if you're here, you already are desiring to expand and stretch yourself, which is so exciting. And let me just give you a shout out to all of those who support my podcast and tune in, whether you download me on Spotify or iTunes or iHeartRadio or, even Podbean. These are, amazing opportunities for you to keep the show growing. And so I deeply appreciate it. And I really, truly am so grateful of your listenership. So let's get started on this evening show, letting go of control to let the universe in. I've got this special clip lined up. Yeah, you're not even going to believe it, but we've been able to integrate a YouTube clip into the show this evening that's going to be so fun and so exciting. And so that will happen later on, but I just wanted to give you kind of a heads up because it's going to be a cool teaching moment for all of us. So let's start by just taking a deep breath in and letting it all go, the stressors of the day, anything that we've carried with us to this point. We're just going to let it all release from our body. And we're going to begin by just exploring the definition of control. According to Merriam-Webster, okay, I went into a dictionary as I was thinking about this podcast and, thinking about how I wanted to present control, the concept. And what I found is that in Merriam-Webster, the dictionary, it is defined as a power or authority to guide or manage. The power or authority to guide or manage. That's the definition of control. And so as we think of that definition of control, I want to throw it back out to all of you guys. Do you ever feel like, do you have a desire? Is there something within you that feels like you need to control an aspect of your life or manage an aspect of your life, or really in some ways overly guide yourself into, a space where you can get things done or accomplished, or to ensure that it works out the way that you need in order to feel good? So just think about that. Do you ever feel like there's a need for you to exercise control in some aspect of your life? And I'm going to give us some examples. Has anyone ever felt like at some point in their life they needed to be very controlled with the food that they eat, with the way that they eat, in order to get a result? And that may be weight loss or to achieve a body size or shape. And so in that, what did you do? Well, you may have started to manage your calories, right? You may have started to watch what you're eating very meticulously, maybe even put things into an app or count protein grams and fat grams and carbohydrates. And so when we think about that process, when we think about just if you visualize it, right, we're putting in a lot of time, a lot of effort. There's a lot of energy that goes into controlling then what we eat. And we are seeing that when we do that, oftentimes we're put into maybe a more structured or more rigid kind of lifestyle or relationship with body and food. And how does that then feel for you? Do you get to feel relaxed and at ease and in power with your body and your relationship with food? Or do you tend to feel anxious and worried when you go out, or when you have someone ask you out for a dinner, or when you're having guests over? Does it feel relaxing to be able to know that you can only have certain things and you can't have others? So just getting you present to the energy around control and the vibration of it. Another thing that people may have some want or desire to control, and that is relationships. Who's ever found themselves sort of reacting to their partner when their partner is in having some sort of crisis, or is, you start to observe their own habits. Maybe you live with them and you're starting to see their own idiosyncrasies, and you start reacting to them and going, why are you doing that? And so you're astonished or you're shocked that they're doing something outside of what you normally do. So outside of what you would consider, routine, or what feels good, or what feels reliable, and that that's the way that it works and you can get it done. So there's this consistency that you have created, or a creature of habit tendency. And so you start to say to your partner, well, no, you should do it this way. And in order for it to be efficiently done, you have to actually make sure that it happens in this order. And it could be as simple as loading the dishwasher or making your bed, right? And they say, no, I've never done it that way. That's not the way I do it. And I prefer to do it this way. So there's this interesting dynamic of, a push or a force within or among in the relationship for one person to conform to the way that the other needs things done, or the way that someone expects things to be done, because they feel they need it to be done that way in order for it to be clean, or to be done successfully, or with ease, according to them. So it's interesting. We each bring in our own sort of ideas or needs or wants around getting things accomplished, or that desire to control. And so in that space, when we look at that, does that feel easy then to live with our partner? Does it feel relaxing? Does it feel calm? Does it feel like we're giving them the freedom and space to be themselves with us? Or are we pushing or forcing them in some way to be something that makes us feel good, or meet our expectations because we need them in a certain way in order for us to feel powerful and strong? Really interesting concepts. And so just looking at these things, how we have this perhaps desire to control, aspects of our life, and whether that be our relationships, or family, or friends, or colleagues, or even within our own selves, our exercise regimens, our food behaviors, and our body size. But here's the thing. I want us to pause to this question. I want us to just slow down and start to reflect on this particular statement. I need to be in control of blank. So just hearing that statement, I need to be in control of blank. And generally, we don't say that out loud. We don't really find ourselves on a conscious level talking in that way. But I want to help us see that when we're pushing, or when we're forcing, or when we're putting in a lot of time and energy to have something, done in a particular way to, really meet an expectation we've created, or to in some ways help us feel good or better, then what exactly is that statement implying? What does it mean on a more subconscious or deeper level that we may not even be fully aware that it is reverberating or reaffirming or anchoring within us? Because when we say, I need to be in control of blank, are we telling ourselves that we already are relaxed, that we already are in abundance, that we already are safe and peaceful and really centered with ourselves in the situation? Are we in confidence that everything will work out and it will be okay? Or are we in flow in that particular moment when we say, I need to be in control of blank? Are we in alignment with what truly is when we say that? Well, let's explore it. I need to be in control of. The word I need is actually implying that we're not. We're saying the exact opposite. The exact opposite. We are not relaxed. We are not in alignment. We are not trusting. We're not in confidence. We are not feeling that we are truly capable of getting what we desire. Isn't that interesting? And when, I saw this really beautiful quote, and I actually posted it on my Instagram. And hey, if you guys are tuning in, I love posting, motivational quotes and aspects of my life. So check me out on Nourish the Soul NYC on Instagram, or the Luminous Life podcast. Those are two of my social media Instagram channels. But I saw this quote, and it says, it takes more energy to control than it does to let go. It takes more energy to control than it does to let go. And even thinking about the two examples, of really a lot of time and effort into going into watching our diet. There's so much energy that goes in, so much planning. And we think we need that to get the result, yet the result often feels longer. It takes longer, or it starts to reach a plateau, and we wonder, well, why can't I get these 5 pounds off? Or, how come I've stopped here? And so we're starting to see that the energy there is not in flow, it's not in ease, it's actually going upstream. It's going against the current. And same thing when we look at this dynamic in our relationships, right? When we are trying to mold our partner into what we need in order to feel happy or good or powerful in the relationship, right? It creates an imbalance in our partner's ability to fully and completely be themselves and to be able to then express themselves without hesitation. So there's less flow, there's less ease, there's less freedom, and there's more anxiety, and there's more distrust. Is that what we really want? Yet we think the harder we push, the better the result will be, the better result we'll have. We think being in control, pushing hard and making sure we meet our expectation and get it on that deadline and make sure it comes through exactly when we set it out to, that the result will be better. That's so interesting. The more effort I put in will really produce a better result. The better I will feel, the more relaxed I can be. But if we just listen to that, the more effort I put in, the better I will feel, the more relaxed I will be. We're actually putting a condition on our state of being, on our peace, on our trust, on our confidence. And we're actually putting ourselves in a position where we're not actually telling ourselves we are relaxed, we are at peace, we are confident. Very interesting. So as I was meditating and planning this control talk, because let me tell you, it's just got my brain really working. And that's fun for me because I love to work on something that is really happening for me. And so I wanted us to look at what's underneath this desire to want to control. And so I'm going to be sharing with you in just a couple moments. So when we're ready, I'll let you know, but that I want to share this video clip with you. And it's a really cool clip. It actually is from the movie Kung Fu Panda. So if anybody's familiar with it, it's a movie that is based out in ancient China, and it stars this kind of buffoon-like or bumbling big panda, and his name is Po. And he suddenly learns, he becomes privy to this idea that he's supposed to be this dragon warrior. And what that means in this movie is that he's supposed to fight off a dangerous kung fu master, Tai Lung. And he has been led to different characters, but particularly this teacher, this headmaster, Shifu, who is looking over a bunch of other kung fu students who are supposed to train to fight Tai Lung. And he meets this Shifu, and this teacher is like, oh my gosh, this larger than life panda who's food obsessed and kind of goofy and can't coordinate his body well. He's going to be the powerful dragon warrior. And it just sends Shifu into a tailspin. So I wanted us to look at, when life happens, when things just show up that are out of our control, how do we react? And so I think this scene speaks a lot about the way that we tend to react. And this clip is showing how Shifu has run to his master, his spirit teacher, Oolong, and is sharing the news. So let's head over to the video clip.
Master! I have... It's very bad news.
Shifu. There is just news. There is no good or bad.
Master, your vision was right. Tai Lung has broken out of prison. He's on his way.
That is bad news. If you do not believe that the Dragon Warrior can stop him.
The panda? Master, that panda is not the Dragon Warrior. He wasn't even meant to be here. It was an accident.
There are no accidents.
Yes, I know. You've said that already. Twice.
Well, that was no accident either.
Thrice.
My old friend, the panda will never fulfill his destiny, nor you yours, until you let go of the illusion of control.
Illusion?
Yes. Look at this tree, Shifu. I cannot make it blossom when it suits me, nor make it bear fruit before its time.
But there are things we can't control. I can control when the fruit will fall. And I can control where to plant the seed. That is no illusion, Master.
Ah, yes. But no matter what you do, that seed will grow to be a peach tree. You may wish for an apple or an orange, but you will get a peach.
But a peach cannot defeat Tai Lung.
Maybe it can, if you are willing to guide it, to nurture it, to believe in it.
But how? How? I need your help, Master.
No, you just need to believe. Promise me, Shifu. Promise me you will believe.
I will try.
Good. My time has come. You must continue your journey without me.
What are you... What? Master! You can't leave me!
You must believe.
Master!
Okay, so in that clip, it's so fascinating, to really see how the panda responds there and has that experience. So I wanted to just spend some time to talk about that and allow you guys to really see the deeper concept there, to see how Shifu goes to his master and his teacher, and he is just spinning out of control, right? That the panda is going to be the dragon warrior, and it is a complete accident, and it wasn't meant to happen, and how did this happen? Because how many times when things occur in our life, when we have these life experiences, do we tend to think, how could this happen to me? Or how could this was not meant to happen? And so you can see in that clip how the master teacher, lets him know that, everything happens for a reason, and that there is, no such thing as an accident. And that his teacher asks him to believe in himself and to believe in what's guiding the experience, and to allow for his destiny to unfold and for the panda's destiny to unfold as a result. Meaning that there's this notion within that clip that there's something even greater and vaster and more expansive than just ourselves and our monkey-minded conversation that we often tend to have when things happen that are not in our expectation or within our radar or in necessarily the routine or the way that we have created comfort and consistency in our life, that we often react then with a lot of control and needing for things to be a certain way, and for trying to figure it out with using a lot of force and a lot of brain power and a lot of energy, and watching as Shifu, when he goes to talk to his teacher, feeling almost the energy of him going upstream, of him paddling against what is, of him really not accepting that there's something that has guided the panda to this experience, that there's something that he is to gain and learn from it, as well as Shifu and the other students that are in this particular scenario, against defeating Tai Long, the dangerous Kung Fu master. So it's all fascinating because it relates to us on such a human level, as far as, our own reaction and what's underneath that automatic desire to want to control and to say, this could not be happening to me. This, how do I deal with this? And it's got to be this way, or I have to get it done the way in my mind I see it needs to be, and it needs to happen in this time frame. How that draws us away from what is already existing. Because what if there is already this omnipresent, very powerful energy that is guiding us on our life journey? And what if each life experience that we have, good or bad, is an opportunity for us to learn something, for our soul to actually gain a deeper understanding of itself, something that it's wanted to see for itself here on this journey right now? What if there are deep lessons inside of each life experience? Meaning that, what if instead of reaching for control, that it has to be the way we see it in our mind, that it has to come out the way that we, envision it or expect it, or within a certain time frame, or with certain people, or, that we take this expectation and this need and we look farther into it, we slow down, and we actually open our hearts, open our eyes, open our ears, and we look at the experience. We feel what we're in, and we really, allow ourselves to reach our hand out to the universe and let it hold our hand, let it support and be and serve as a guidance in this time. That what if each experience we come faced with is an opportunity to learn by being fully present in the here and now? Not wondering how we're going to get it done, how exactly those dishes should be put in the dishwasher, how your partner should fold the bed, how they should put their toothbrush away with the cap on the toothpaste, or how, many calories you're going to have, how many grams of protein you're going to need, how many grams of fat. That if we just allow ourselves to tap into this really beautiful, all-knowing, all-seeing energy that is with us at all times, that we can learn something from the experience. Why do we want to be in that specific shape or size? What has brought us to the size and shape that we're in? What behaviors are we engaging in that have led us to the space that we are? And perhaps the dissatisfaction, or not liking what we are. What could we experience for ourselves or get to know as we dive into that conversation rather than wanting to control the physical? And or what could we learn about ourselves in our relationships when we release needing a person to show up the way we want them to in order to feel good or to feel happy? Where in ourselves could we generate feeling good and happy to allow for a release of control and more freedom within and in the partnerships that we have? And if we are living from that presence, if we're exploring ourselves from that space, then we can actually have more appreciation for the experience, even if it's strenuous, even if it's a challenge, because we can look back and go, I've got something here that I didn't see about myself, that I didn't know I needed to actually uncover or truly expand upon. There's a sense of appreciation we can gain. And we can, in that appreciation, in that gratitude, have less suffering, less pain. So what if letting go of control actually empowers us to be in alignment with this omnipresent, most powerful, energetic, all-seeing, all-knowing energy that exists, that at any moment we could step into and flow with, that we could be guided then to the answer. We could be guided then to what we're looking for with much more ease, with a tremendous less effort, with more confidence and abundance, that all will always, no matter what it is, even if it's big, like a death or a birth or a transition to a new job or an ending of a relationship or, moving across the world or starting your own business, that you will forever and always be loved and guided through these experiences, but that you can actually get much more out of them if you let go of needing to control the way that your mind wants you to, right? Shifu stamps down all the peaches and says, "No, master, I can show you, I can be in control," right? And the master says, "Well, no matter what you do, I can't tell this tree to bear the fruit when I want it. It will always bear it on its own time, and it will always be a peach." And so sometimes in life, when you want something to be a certain way, it's the universe really telling you that it has to be this way. And it's an opportunity for you to then learn as a result the way that this greater power is showing you that it is, so that you can see something bigger and more expansive about yourself. And so what if when we are in sync with this expansive energy, we can feel less pain, we can be in less panic, we can have and experience less chaos, we can actually feel more good and balanced and happy within, rather than needing it to be without or creating conditions on ourselves for that to occur. And so with that, I want you all to really simmer in this. Really let yourself explore this podcast, because I truly believe it has several different aspects to it that are worth really letting yourself revel in. And my challenge or homework is for you is to think about an aspect in your life that you are feeling like you are needing control of, and to ponder what the universe could be offering you as an alternative, as an opportunity, and to really let yourself kind of think about what could be learned or seen in an alternative way for yourself. And if it's really left you in some space where you want to work on this, where you really want to get to the deep-rooted bottom of what it is that you're, feeling that's driving you to want to super control one or several aspects of your life, then go to nourishthesoul.nyc. That's my website. and click on the services page and allow yourself to be guided to, a free consultation where we can really get to know more about this aspect of you, because I guarantee I can help you and I can empower you to really transform your way of being. So, guys, ladies and gentlemen, near and far, that concludes this evening's show. This is Elizabeth Tripp. Love and